Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most dramatic and devastating moments of the war, a single strike that turned the tide of an entire operation. A massive 50-ton ammunition depot detonated and wiped out a large segment of a Russian convoy in mere seconds, leaving behind a scene of total destruction. This incident has shocked analysts, stunned military strategists, and given Ukraine a major symbolic and tactical victory. In this video, we will break down what happened, how such a powerful explosion occurred, the intelligence and tactics behind the strike, and what this means for the future of the conflict. The convoy was reportedly part of a larger logistical movement meant to reinforce Russian positions along a critical front line. Columns of trucks, armored vehicles, fuel tankers, and support units were advancing toward a staging area. What they didn't know was that Ukrainian forces had already identified their supply route and tracked them for days. One of the key components of this Russian convoy was a hidden ammunition storage site nearby containing over 50 tons of artillery shells, rockets, fuel, and explosives. This depot was meant to serve as a temporary resupply hub, but its location made it extremely vulnerable. It was placed too close to main transport lanes and not properly concealed, making it the perfect target. Ukrainian intelligence reportedly used drones, intercepted signals, and satellite imagery to determine the exact coordinates of the depot. Once verified, they waited for the right moment when the convoy was either arriving or already near the depot. Timing was everything. Instead of striking just the convoy or only the depot, Ukraine chose to maximize the impact by hitting both at once. The strike was launched using precision-guided weapons, possibly HIMARS or long-range guided rockets. As soon as the first missile struck the depot, the chain reaction began. Explosions from inside the ammunition dump triggered secondary blasts, each more powerful than the last. What followed was a fireball so large that it was seen and recorded from miles away. The ground shook like an earthquake, and the shockwave destroyed vehicles that were not even directly hit. Trucks were ripped apart, fuel tankers ignited, and armored vehicles were flipped over like toys. Within seconds, dozens of vehicles were destroyed, and Russian forces in the area were thrown into chaos. The sky was filled with smoke and debris as ammunition continued to cook off for nearly an hour. Reports indicate that this single strike may have taken out an entire logistics column, multiple armored vehicles, and a significant number of troops. Analysts have called this one of the most efficient and devastating strikes of the war. What makes it even more shocking is how a single mistake, placing a massive ammo depot too close to active vehicle movement, created a perfect moment for Ukraine to exploit. Military doctrine clearly states that ammunition storage must be dispersed, hidden, and fortified. Russia ignored all of these rules. Instead of using underground bunkers or hardened facilities, they used makeshift storage areas, exposed fields, and civilian warehouses. This level of negligence is dangerous, and in this case, it was catastrophic. Strategically, this strike had multiple layers of consequences. Not only did it destroy hardware and supplies, but it also crippled the momentum of the Russian advance in that region. Convoys are essential to warfare. Without fuel, ammunition, and replacements, frontline units cannot operate. This strike forced Russia to halt movements, reorganize supply lines, and attempt emergency rerouting. That takes time, and in war, time is often more valuable than firepower. Additionally, the psychological impact cannot be ignored. Russian soldiers saw an entire convoy get obliterated in seconds, and it reminded them that nowhere is truly safe. For Ukraine, this was a morale booster and a demonstration of strategic maturity. It showed that Ukraine is not just reacting but planning, gathering intelligence, coordinating forces, and executing high-value strikes with precision. This is the difference between random attacks and professional warfare. This strike also highlighted the importance of Western-supplied weapons. HIMARS and other long-range precision systems have allowed Ukraine to hit deep behind enemy lines and dismantle Russia's logistics. When used correctly, these weapons are not just tools, they are force multipliers. Let's talk about the scale of the explosion itself. To put 50 tons of ammunition into perspective, that is equivalent to thousands of artillery shells, hundreds of rockets, fuel containers, and explosives. When they detonate together, the blast radius expands dramatically. Vehicles several hundred meters away were destroyed. Windows shattered in nearby villages. Some witnesses compared it to a small tactical bomb in terms of impact. Videos of the explosion spread quickly across social media, capturing the moment the sky turned into a wall of fire. The plume of smoke rose high into the atmosphere and was visible for hours. Another critical aspect was the intelligence network that made this strike possible. Ukraine has developed one of the most advanced real-time intelligence systems in modern warfare. Civilian volunteers, local informants, drone operators, and Western satellites all feed data into a centralized command system. This combination of human intelligence and high-tech surveillance creates opportunities like this strike. Russia has struggled to match this level of coordination. Their forces often move in predictable patterns, use unsecured communication, and fail to properly camouflage assets. In modern warfare, visibility is vulnerability, and Ukraine is taking full advantage. The aftermath of this strike left Russia scrambling. They attempted to cover up the losses by claiming it was a minor incident or a fuel fire. But satellite images and intercepted communications revealed the truth. Dozens of vehicles and equipment pieces were destroyed. Ukrainian officials confirmed the strike and praised the intelligence teams and artillery units involved. Western analysts noted that this was not just a lucky hit, but a carefully planned operation, likely involving multiple branches of the Ukrainian military working together in perfect synchronization. This event is part of a larger pattern. Over the past year, Ukraine has targeted ammunition depots with increasing frequency and accuracy. Each time Russia gathers large amounts of supplies in one place without proper protection, Ukraine strikes. These attacks slowly erode Russia's ability to fight by draining resources faster than they can be replaced. It's a war of attrition, and Ukraine is using precision to level the playing field against a numerically larger force. Looking ahead, this strike may influence how both sides conduct logistics. Russia will likely try to disperse supply points, use underground storage, or move more cautiously. But this also slows them down and complicates operations. Ukraine, meanwhile, will continue to search for key targets and exploit mistakes. With more advanced long-range weapons coming from allies, these kinds of devastating strikes could become even more common. From a broader perspective, this event shows how modern warfare has changed. It's no longer just about tanks and soldiers in trenches. It's about intelligence, precision, logistics, and speed. A single missile, when used at the right moment, can accomplish what once took entire divisions. Technology has shifted the balance, and Ukraine is proving that superior strategy can overcome even the largest armies. In conclusion, the destruction of the Russian convoy by the detonation of a 50-ton ammunition depot is a perfect example of tactical brilliance meeting enemy error. It was a devastating blow to Russian military capability in the region, a major morale boost for Ukraine, and a clear signal to the world that precision strikes backed by strong intelligence can reshape the battlefield. The explosion may have lasted only seconds, but its impact will be felt for weeks, if not months. As the war continues, both sides will adapt. But moments like this remind us how quickly the tide can turn when preparation meets opportunity. Stay tuned as we continue to follow these developments and break down the most important events shaping this conflict.